Janelle Brown's heartbreaking day. Toe child born, one lost sister wives TLC. Hello friends, I am Elena. Welcome to my channel. For the latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Janelle Brown, known for her role on Sister Wives, faced one of the most bittersweet and devastating days of her life today. In what should have been a joyful occasion, the birth of two new children into the family turned tragic as only one survived. The other, heartbreakingly, did not make it. This dual experience of life and loss has left Janelle shattered, and fans and loved ones alike mourning with her. Today started with anticipation and nerves, as Janelle Brown was expecting the birth of twin grandchildren. The mother and grandmother, who has always been deeply connected to her children and invested in their growth and happiness, was reportedly by their side through every moment. The family was hopeful, surrounded by medical care and support. There was excitement in the air, but also a sense of cautious optimism, as can often come with complications. As the hours passed, news broke that both babies had arrived, but shortly after, devastating information followed. One of the children passed away shortly after birth. The surviving twin is reported to be stable and receiving care, but the death of the other child has cast a dark shadow over the celebration. For Janelle, this means balancing the happiness of welcoming a grandchild and the unbearable sorrow of saying goodbye to another before they even had a chance to live. Janelle has always been a woman of strength. Over the years, viewers of Sister Wives have watched her handle immense emotional challenges with resilience. Whether it was navigating a plural marriage, her eventual split from Kody Brown, or the many struggles within the family, Janelle has consistently presented herself as calm, grounded, and emotionally intelligent. But even someone as strong as she is can be brought to her knees by a tragedy like this. A close family source stated that Janelle was absolutely devastated. "She hasn't stopped crying," they said. "This was supposed to be a happy day. She was so excited." To lose one baby while holding the other is a level of grief that most people will never understand. It's the kind of thing that changes you forever, but family first. She's made countless sacrifices for her children, worked hard to ensure their futures were stable, and remained fiercely loyal to them through everything. This loss, therefore, hits her in a deeply personal way, not just as a grandmother, but as a mother who knows the fragility of life and the intense connection formed with a child even before birth. Fans and followers flooded social media with condolences as soon as the news broke. "Our hearts break for you, Janelle," one follower wrote. Another posted, "So much love to the Brown family. This is every parent and grandparent's nightmare. Sending prayers for healing." The support has been overwhelming, showing just how many people feel connected to Janelle's journey and are hurting alongside her. As the family processes this tragedy, it's reported that a private ceremony will be held to honor the lost child. Though the baby was only here briefly, the impact on the family will be lasting. Janelle, known for her spiritual connection and quiet depth, is said to be leaning on her personal faith and beliefs to get through this moment. She has not made any public statements yet, but those close to her believe she will eventually speak out, if only to bring awareness to how precious and unpredictable life can be. This loss also brings renewed attention to the emotional and mental toll women face after childbirth, especially in cases of stillbirth or neonatal death. Sources close to the family are encouraging space and privacy as everyone processes the situation. Janelle's other children have also expressed their sorrow, asking for prayers and respect. It's a tight-knit family, despite the ups and downs that have been publicly documented. And in times like this, they rally around one another. While one life was tragically lost, the family is doing everything they can to focus on the life that was spared. The surviving twin remains in the hospital under careful observation. Doctors say the baby is stable, but emotionally, the family is navigating a confusing mix of grief and gratitude. Janelle's story is a heartbreaking reminder of how quickly things can change, how life and death often coexist, and how strength sometimes means simply showing up and holding space for both joy and sorrow. She is expected to remain with her child and grandchild for the foreseeable future, helping with care and grieving in her own quiet way. No funeral arrangements have been publicly shared, but the family has indicated that they intend to celebrate the short life of the child they lost with dignity and love. There will be no flashy announcements or media coverage, just a private, emotional farewell. As Janelle copes with this unimaginable day, fans and well-wishers continue to send her strength. While this is a moment of immense sadness, those who know her believe that she will continue to be a source of stability for her family, even as she mourns this devastating loss. One family friend perhaps said it best, "Janelle is heartbroken, but she's not broken. She will carry this pain forever, but she'll also carry the love. That's just who she is." Today, Janelle Brown is both a joyful grandmother and a grieving one. Her heart has expanded to hold a new life, and broken to mourn the one she'll never get to know. And while the pain is unbearable, her love, strength, and grace in this time of sorrow show the true depth of her character. Janelle Brown, known widely for her role on TLC's Sister Wives, has found herself at the center of public speculation once again, this time concerning her sexuality. Since her split from Kody Brown, viewers and fans have closely monitored her personal evolution. Her recent statements, however, mark a bold shift in tone, addressing the assumptions that have surrounded her for years and asserting her identity with newfound confidence. In a candid moment shared during an interview and later echoed across her social platforms, Janelle stated, "I'm a very sexual being." With that simple yet powerful declaration, she took control of a narrative that others had been trying to write for her. It wasn't just about denying rumors, it was about owning who she is on her terms after years of living in a complex plural marriage where personal identity often took a backseat to family unity. Since leaving Kody Brown, Janelle has undergone visible personal growth. While her departure from their spiritual marriage was not initially surrounded by dramatic fanfare, it became clear that her choice stemmed from a deep desire for self-discovery and emotional independence. For many years, Janelle was perceived as the pragmatic wife, often viewed as more reserved and business-minded compared to her former sister wives. Yet, that image didn't always reflect the fullness of her inner life. When questioned about the growing speculation regarding her sexuality, Janelle made it clear that labeling her based on external assumptions was not only unfair but deeply reductive. "There's this idea that just because I chose to live a certain way for a long time that it somehow says everything about me," she explained. "But I'm more than a wife. I'm more than a mother. I'm also a woman who knows what she wants and how she wants to live." Her words resonated with fans, who have followed her for years, many of whom praised her honesty and strength. For some viewers, Janelle's departure from polygamy symbolized more than just the end of a marriage. It represented a broader rejection of a system that often limited women's autonomy. Janelle emphasized that her journey post-Kody has been one of reflection and empowerment. "There's been a lot of growth," she admitted. "I spent a long time being part of something bigger than myself, this family, this lifestyle, but I've also realized that my individuality matters. My happiness matters." She acknowledged that people often jump to conclusions when a woman reaches a turning point in her life, especially after a high-profile breakup. "There's been all kinds of speculation, whether I'm dating, whether I'm seeing someone new, whether I've changed how I identify sexually," she said. "And while I get it, people are curious, I think it's also a reflection of how society struggles with women stepping into their power." Her assertion that she is a very sexual being was not a response to a particular rumor, but rather a broader affirmation that she refuses to be boxed in by traditional expectations. "I've always had a healthy understanding of intimacy and connection," Janelle noted. "That didn't go away just because I was in a plural marriage or because I was focused on raising my kids." Indeed, Janelle's devotion to her children and her strong work ethic often became the primary lens through which fans saw her. But she reminded the public that being grounded in responsibility does not negate the existence of sensuality, passion, or desire. "There's a misconception that some people are sexual and others just aren't," she said. "But the truth is, we all express that part of ourselves differently. I may not have been flashy about it, but that doesn't mean it wasn't there." Her openness has sparked important conversations among viewers about identity, freedom, and the right to evolve. Many supporters expressed appreciation for Janelle's willingness to be so transparent, especially in a culture that often silences older women or dismisses them once they step away from traditional roles. Janelle also shared that she is not currently dating, but she remains open to the possibility of future romantic relationships. "I'm not rushing into anything. Right now I'm focused on healing, learning, and enjoying my own company. But I'm not closed off either. I think love, when it's right, is beautiful." Importantly, she made it clear that her recent revelations are not meant to define her in a single category. "I'm not putting myself in any box, and I hope others don't either," she said. "Sexuality is just one part of a whole person. It's not everything, but it's not nothing either. And it deserves to be acknowledged without shame." For years, the dynamic within the Sister Wives family was shaped by rigid roles and expectations. Janelle's current outlook reflects a significant departure from that era. Now she's focused on reclaiming agency in every aspect of her life, emotionally, spiritually, professionally, and yes, sexually. "I think it's important to talk about these things," she continued, "because for too long women, especially women from conservative or religious backgrounds, have been made to feel like certain parts of themselves should be hidden. I'm not hiding anymore." The reality television landscape has changed dramatically over the years, with stars becoming more transparent and fans demanding authenticity over curated personas. Janelle's openness about her sexuality, while surprising to some, is part of a larger trend of women reclaiming their narratives. At the end of the day, Janelle is not seeking validation, she's simply speaking her truth. Her life after Sister Wives is one marked by clarity and a refusal to live under others' assumptions. She is navigating this next chapter with intention and courage, embracing who she is without apology. As for what's next, Janelle remains focused on her health journey, her family, and her business ventures. But she also hinted that more personal revelations may come in time. "I'm still discovering things about myself every day," she said. "And I think that's the most exciting part. I'm not done growing." Her message to fans is clear. Evolution is not only possible, it's powerful. And whether she's talking about love, identity, or the complexity of being a woman after divorce, Janelle Brown is ready to be heard. Janelle Brown, a long-standing figure on TLC's Sister Wives, has often been the calm and level-headed presence among the Browns. Through the show's many seasons, viewers have seen her manage family tensions with a steady hand, rarely giving in to drama or confrontation. However, when it comes to the topic of Kody Brown's courtship and eventual marriage to his fourth wife, Robyn Brown, Janelle has recently opened up with uncharacteristic honesty. In a rare candid moment, Janelle admitted that the courtship between Kody and Robyn was not really appropriate, a statement that sheds light on underlying tensions that have simmered within the Brown family for over a decade. From the outside, Sister Wives was originally pitched as a show about love, family, and the challenges of plural marriage. Kody Brown, a polygamist, was spiritually married to Mary, Janelle, and Christine before courting Robyn. When Robyn entered the family in 2010, she was portrayed as a fresh addition to a loving but complicated household. Yet, behind the scenes, things weren't quite as harmonious as the cameras suggested. Janelle has always been known for her independent nature. She worked outside the home for many years and built a strong sense of self-reliance. She's never been one to wear her emotions on her sleeve, so her willingness to now speak out on what went wrong during the time of Kody's relationship with Robyn is telling. According to Janelle, the courtship deviated from the norms the family had tried to uphold. The Brown family had always claimed to follow certain spiritual principles when it came to adding a new wife. There was an unspoken understanding among the wives that mutual respect, transparency, and emotional boundaries would be maintained. But as Janelle now reflects, that wasn't what happened with Robyn. One of the issues, Janelle points out, was the exclusivity and secrecy of the courtship. While the wives were accustomed to being included in major family decisions, Kody's pursuit of Robyn often left them in the dark. Instead of openly involving the rest of the family, Kody spent increasing amounts of time with Robyn alone. According to Janelle, this created an emotional disconnect among the rest of the wives, especially during a time when transparency was crucial. "There was something about the way it all happened that just didn't sit right," Janelle confessed. We had built a life based on mutual understanding and spiritual commitment. But with Robin, it felt like the rules changed without our consent. Janelle noted that while the wives had previously tried to support each other through new additions to the family, Cody's behavior shifted. He became more emotionally invested in Robin early on, which was a stark contrast to how he treated his other wives during their respective courtships. What started off as a spiritual courtship quickly became something more romanticized and possessive. To the other wives, particularly Janelle and Christine, it appeared that Cody was prioritizing Robin over the rest of the family before she was even officially part of it. Another element Janelle highlights is how Robin was treated during the courtship. Cody's courtship with his other wives had been marked by modesty and community involvement. However, with Robin, he broke those conventions, spending extended one-on-one time, engaging in public displays of affection, and even allowing Robin to set different expectations. For Janelle, this preferential treatment raised serious concerns about fairness and long-term unity in the family. Janelle has also acknowledged that this imbalance led to resentment. She described the experience as isolating, explaining how the other wives often felt emotionally abandoned. "You enter plural marriage knowing there will be sacrifices," she said. "But you don't expect to be made to feel like a second-class wife." That's what started happening. The effects of that early imbalance have echoed throughout the years. While Robin eventually became Cody's legal wife, a title none of the other wives held except Mary early on, the emotional bond between Cody and his first 3 wives began to erode. Over time, Janelle and Christine pulled away, each questioning their place in the family. Mary, too, expressed feelings of displacement, especially as Robin became the wife with the closest relationship to Cody. Even as the family relocated several times and navigated complicated relationships, Janelle felt that the damage from that courtship period had never fully healed. What was once a united family, held together by faith and shared responsibility, became fragmented. Janelle insists that the favoritism shown during the courtship stage was the catalyst for that breakdown. "I'm not saying Robin is the villain," Janelle clarified. "But the way Cody handled it, that wasn't right. It wasn't in line with the values we claim to live by." What's even more striking is that Janelle held back her feelings for years. She revealed that she didn't want to stir up conflict or appear bitter. But now, with her spiritual marriage to Cody over, she feels freer to speak her truth. The fact that Janelle is willing to address this now points to a broader realization that silence doesn't fix broken systems. In retrospect, Janelle believes that a more inclusive and respectful courtship process could have preserved more unity in the family. "We all deserve to be seen, to be heard," she said. "And during that time, we weren't." Today, Janelle is focusing on reclaiming her independence and redefining her identity outside the bounds of plural marriage. She's spoken about personal growth, reconnecting with her children, and building a life that is no longer defined by Cody's decisions. But she still carries the emotional impact of those early days when Robin came into the picture, not because of jealousy but because of a betrayal of values. Ultimately, Janelle's reflections serve as a reminder that relationships, especially in complex family structures, require balance, empathy, and honesty. When those things are missing, even the most deeply rooted systems can fall apart. Cody Brown's world continues to unravel, and this time it's one of his ex-wives stepping forward with bold claims that cut straight to the core of his intentions behind their years-long polygamous marriage. In a striking statement that is making waves among Sister Wives fans and critics alike, Cody's former wife has pulled back the curtain on what she now believes were his true motives, and they aren't pretty. After years of defending the structure of plural marriage and maintaining a carefully crafted image on reality television, Cody's intentions are now being questioned by someone who knew him best, someone who lived with him, built a family with him, and endured the unraveling of a complex relationship. The accusation? That Cody Brown's real motive behind pursuing plural marriage was not rooted in faith, family, or even love, but in control, ego, and the pursuit of fame. The ex-wife, whose name is being withheld to maintain privacy in light of pending developments, claims that for years Cody sold the narrative that he was following divine inspiration in creating a large, loving family. But behind closed doors, she alleges that Cody's interest in polygamy was heavily influenced by a desire to be revered, admired, and ultimately put on a public pedestal. "It was never about God," she said bluntly in her statement. "It was about himself." According to her, the beginning of their plural lifestyle was more about Cody wanting to be the center of a system where he couldn't be challenged. She describes early warning signs that were brushed off under the guise of spiritual leadership. Cody's insistence on absolute loyalty, his frequent mood swings when things didn't go his way, and his passive-aggressive treatment of wives who dared to question him, these all, she says, now appear to be deliberate mechanisms of control. One of the most shocking parts of her statement is her suggestion that Cody used religion as a shield and justification to gain authority over multiple women. "He loved being the one with all the answers," she wrote. "He needed us to believe he was divinely guided. That way, we'd second-guess ourselves instead of questioning him." The ex-wife says that once the Sister Wives TV deal came into play, everything changed, even more drastically. What was once pitched to the family as an opportunity to normalize polygamy and share their faith quickly became a spotlight that Cody allegedly craved. According to her, he started treating the show as a vehicle to promote his own image, disregarding the emotional well-being of his wives and children in the process. "The fame made it worse," she admitted. "He started acting like a celebrity. The family dynamic became about appearances, not actual connection." She alleges that Cody became obsessed with how he was perceived on camera, often pressuring the wives to go along with scripted interactions or to avoid discussing uncomfortable realities on air. She also noted how Cody's preferential treatment of Robin, his fourth wife, became more evident once the show gained traction. "He needed a star wife," she said. "Someone who would worship him on camera, make him look good. The rest of us became emotional background noise." Her words highlight what many fans have speculated for years, that Robin wasn't just Cody's favorite, but the embodiment of what he wanted to project to the world, a perfect, loyal, submissive wife who helped maintain his public persona. "She played the role he needed her to play," the ex-wife said. "And the rest of us were expected to fall in line," she continued, pointing out that Cody's controlling tendencies extended to financial decisions and even the children. He picked and chose when he wanted to be a father. He'd swoop in for moments that looked good on TV. But when the camera stopped rolling, so did his attention. Perhaps the most painful part of her admission is how long it took her to see Cody for who she believes he truly is. "I loved him. I believed in him. And for a long time I believed I was the problem," she shared. "But now I see he needed women who didn't push back. The second we started asserting our voices, we became threats." The accusations shed a new light on the pattern of crumbling relationships around Cody. With 3 of his wives having left the marriage, many viewers began to speculate about deeper dysfunction beneath the surface. These recent statements give voice to those suspicions and seem to confirm that what the public saw was a polished version of a far more chaotic reality.